Multimedia personality, comedic commentator, songwriter, recording artist, spiritual leader, author, and actor. Larry D. Reid is the founder of the MBN Network, owner of LDR Enterprises based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and the spiritual leader of the Reformation Church of Atlanta. You can catch Larry Reid on the BET Plus original series Kingdom Business and on American Gangsta Track Queens. Streaming online at BET.plus. Join with people from around the world praying 15 minutes every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling 667-770-1402, code 974-8029 #.
My name is Shantae Standback, and I am a patron of Dr. Reid's platform, LRL, on Patreon, as well as a member of Reformation Church of Atlanta. I started as a viewer. On Facebook Live. I was introduced to Dr. Reid as he was covering church in the pandemic. A friend of mine shared the video with me and was like, you have to watch this, because this particular episode that he was providing his commentary on hit home for me, as it was the family church that I grew up in. So it was from that moment, and I remember it was October of 2020. And it hit home for me because at that time it was the height of COVID. And although I was no longer a member of this church, I still had family members that were still pretty much, very much a part of it, 4 generations. So it was very emotional for me, but in all that I received from his comedic commentary, who knew that that would be the lure that God would use to pull me in, and that's how my journey started. So I started as a viewer, ended up becoming a patron, and now I am a member, as I stated. I had no idea that I still had so much, as he coins the term, church brain, that still needed to be uprooted. So what Reformation has done for me, what the LRL platform Patreon has done for me, has been transformational. I was so over church, and I know many have kind of shared and expressed the same thing in this community. But I was over church because I knew it just had to be something so much more to what life was. I saw it as oppressive, and what Dr. Reid has given to me and so many others in this community is experiencing the divine of who we are, the divine being of who God is, in a way that was so limiting from church. And so that is what Patreon, as well as being a part of Reformation Church of Atlanta, has done for me. But it was the lure of his Facebook Lives. And I'll be honest, there were times where I would cringe because my brain sometimes couldn't fathom some of the comedic ways in which he would present topics, but he presented topics that oftentimes the church wouldn't talk about. Things that were oppressive, astrology, sex, things that were often deemed as witchcraft or dark, but yet those are things that were taken from us, that suppressed us, that limit us. And so his teaching, the nuggets and his wisdom from his commentary has been so transformational for me, so life-changing. And so I offer anyone who finds themselves like at the crossroads of just like, it has to be more, like there has to be more than life. It is. This community has helped me to embrace the mystical side of who I am, begin to understand that of what I was called to do, the divine being that I am, to walk boldly in who I am because of who Dr. Reid is and how freeing he is and how bold he is. It allows and has created those same sacred spaces for so many others. So, and that's been my testimony and my journey. I have changed in so many ways for the good in all aspects of my life, from emotional, spiritual, and financial. Let me tell you, that whole financial wellness plan is a game changer. It has been life-changing. That is who I am. Dr. Reid, thank you for your complete and total yes, and for all that you continue to do.
Even though he has not always been protected, he's always been a protector.
Broken people saw that signal and done what they thought they needed to do to the request that I was making, and they just chose improperly.
He never told me nothing. I knew nothing about it.
I feel like everyone in my family, in some form or way, has been fondled or molested or raped in some form or fashion.
I couldn't understand how God was in me because I was that.
Larry was tolerated versus celebrated.
There's a wrong way and right way to do everything, and Larry always seemed to choose the wrong way.
Yes, I was drugged and raped, and that happened when I was 17 years old. Misfits have an ability to stick out. But if the misfit accept that they absolutely cannot fit in, then they become someone with an X factor.
Church Critic by Dr. Larry D. Reid. An examination of the Larry Reid Live show perspective. Purchase a copy today by logging on to LarryReidLive.com. That's LarryReidLive.com. Patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Let me tell you why you should join. You will gain access to master level teaching and coaching, which includes Sunday morning prayer calls with Dr. Reid, Wednesday night breakdown with Dr. Reid, the prophets and care pastors, divine partnerships and networking with a like-minded community, exclusive content, which includes daily posts, ranging in topics that are too expansive to share on Dr. Reid's public platform, including money, health and wellness, entrepreneurship, relationships, prophecy, prayer, and more. Become a member today by logging on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live today. Stay connected to Larry Reid Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the bell. Text LRL to 404-999-7527. That's the words LRL to 404-999-7527. And get notified when we go live. Become a member of Patreon. Log on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Sign up, then download the Patreon app and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.
We're about to have a conversation.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Larry Reid, and I'm the host of Larry Reid Live. It's been a long time since I've been up here with you guys, coming live from the studio. I've been coming live from my car and from my bedroom and just posting on IG, TikTok. I almost said Farouk, Facebook, but I've been posting on Facebook as well. This is what I need for all of you guys to do, so you can stay up to date with whatever's happening in our community, particularly the Black church community. You're going to need to be plugged into Larry Live. So let me tell you how to do that, because social media is not too social no more, because there's about 500,000 followers between YouTube and Facebook, but they're only showing my content to about 1%, and it's getting worse and worse. So you need to follow me on all social media: TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, YouTube. It's all Larry Reid Live. And then you also need to download my app. Go to your store where you download your apps, type in Larry Reid Live. There's another app that we give the patrons, but this is the app for the public. Larry Reid Live. So go ahead and download that. Also, text this phone number right now. I'm telling you, because when it comes to what's happening in our world, and you want the church information, insight, updates, conversation, content, you're going to need to come here. I'm not the only one, but I'm one of the main ones. Text LRL to 404-999-7527. Pull your phone out, act like you're going to text 404-999-7527, and just text in capital letters LRL. Whether you get a message back immediately or not, you need to know at that moment that you're on in my text club. So whenever I go live, whether it is on IG exclusively, on TikTok exclusively, because I've been going live over there, or on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to text you and tell you. Then you can remember to come back to the platform to watch, or click the link I'm sending you and watch right then. Okay, so make sure you plug in. Check your neighbor. Everybody check down your row. Tell everybody, hey, tell them where you're from, what city, what state, and make sure that they got their text to me in, that they downloaded the app, because this community on Facebook it's about soon close to 300,000 followers there. And I got in trouble and I have haters. And they told me, sent me a message, said, we're not going to be showing your content to everybody. I said, that's a pure shame. And when I make a post on Facebook, it can be anywhere from 1,000 to 6,000 and 7,000 interactions, typically, earlier this year. But they have changed all of that. So you're going to have to start going to my Facebook page to see what's posted, because it's not going to come up in your feed. You're going to have to seek me out. And this is why I'm telling you to text me right now, 404-999-7527, 404-999-7527. Just text LRL so I can text you when I am live, okay? All right, I'm going to give you an update, then I'm going to disappear. I'm going to be gone. It is possible that we will have a call in, but if not, I'm going to give you all the information that you need to know anyway, and we'll possibly come back with Bishop Carlton Pearson, because we did have a conversation a few minutes ago, and he did say that he would be open to, he brought it up, I didn't bring it up. I was just talking to him, and he made mention about doing something. He said, you can ask me anything. He said, I might as well just say whatever that needs to be said. So it is my endeavor to do that. I will probably have to go there, or either we set up something remote, we'll just hear his voice and put a picture up, but we're definitely going to do that. But before I do that, I need to give some explanation to a post that I made earlier. There was a post that I made earlier, and I have been receiving this, I don't know how many times, over again. Everybody was telling me about this GoFundMe. Well, I did not pay attention to who made the GoFundMe at all. I just saw the advertisement. I was like, I haven't heard nothing about this from Bishop Pearson directly, so I would like to think if something like this is going on, a fundraiser online, he would certainly call me. Because fundraising is one of the anointings that is on my life and abilities that I have, because I'm a giver. Let me just take about 30 seconds to say this, because somebody asked me this. You cannot raise funds for the church, for your company, for your business, some crowdfunding thing. You can't do that if you're not a giver. Will people respond to your request? Yeah, but you're not going to be able to do it at the level that you're dreaming to do it for that company, for your project, or for that cause if you don't become a giver first. One of the key things I have learned, being the fundraiser for the MBN network, i.e. Larry Reid Live, and a whole lot of other different places, people, and things. When I began to give more, I could raise more. I'm going to say that again. When I began to give more, I could raise more. When I got real serious and intentional about my giving, I was able to raise more. So all of you that seem like, oh, I don't understand how he's able to raise money, because it was on this platform in about 3 days we raised Bishop Carlton Pearson over $50,000. And the reason why we were able to do it is because those involved, me and some others, and many of you, are givers. So people just got caught up in that moment of expressing our love. Because remember, the seed that we sowed, or actually the donation that we gave to him, was all about how the church had handled him, mishandled him, and he was still in pain about it. He cried on that episode. And we were able to express our love. And in light of the information I'm going to be sharing today, you're going to feel really good about that. And you're going to also get another opportunity to put something in his hand that I have verified that nobody can get hold of except for him and his power of attorney that happens to be his son, who I just spoke to on the phone. And it was freaky because I said hello, and I thought it was Bishop. And I just, went into that mode. And I'm like, oh, it's somebody else. Oh, you sound just like him. And it was his son, Julian. So I found a way for you to still show your love, because he is alive and talking, and he's well. And I'm going to give that to you in just a few minutes, where you're going to be able to do that. Now, let me get back to this post. So this post was sent to me over and over and over again, and I didn't pay attention to the person who had put the GoFundMe. It wasn't until I received a call, and I'm going to keep this bishop's name private, although I did tell Bishop Carlton, who told me that. This is a bishop. If I say his name, like, of course you take what he said. And I was told that this GoFundMe was not authorized. And so I said, oh, okay. I said, you sure? And he said, hold on a minute, let me call. He answered the phone call, called a few places. He said, yes, it's not authorized. I said, oh, it's not authorized. But people don't need to be given to that, because that money is not going to be able to get to Bishop Pearson. So the post, I made it, turned my back. And then I received a phone call from the person who made the post. Francina Norman made the post. And she said, look, this is Francina Norman. I met you one time, and I vaguely remember, I think it was at Bishop's Church in the Prophetic College. And she said, I met you before, da-da-da-da. I did get permission. Here's the proof. And typically the person that told me that it wasn't authorized, I would have asked for proof. That's my norm. But because of who this person is, and I'm not going to say their name because you're not going to let it down, I didn't. I never had to. I know this person very well. And, but according to the evidence, and then I picked up the phone call and called Bishop Pearson directly. Did not want to bring this to him, but I had to get it from the horse's mouth. And he said, I knew about the GoFundMe, and I knew the person that was doing it, Francine, was doing it because it's something that she wanted to do for me. And I said, oh, okay, I get that. So there's nothing, what's the word? Ungodly, deceitful about that GoFundMe post. But for those of you that were reluctant to give it there because it's in a whole nother person's name and there's so much scamming online, I'm going to give you the Cash App I got directly from Bishop Carlton Pearson and his son that only they can access. And so I'm going to give that to you by the end of this broadcast. But first, let me give you the update. And I'm not going to be up here long, so I need everybody to hit like, everybody to hit share. Go ahead and share this link out to them folk that you always gossip with. and let them know that I'm on to give you the information. Now, I notice sometimes a lot of people in comment sections, they say, well, Larry Reid, it's a gossip vlogger and blogger. Let me make this abundantly clear. If you call me a gossip vlogger or a gossip columnist, fine, that's what you say, but I know who I am. So let me make you very clear about what I do. If it's not in the public, I'm not going to discuss it. And just because it is in the public don't mean I want to discuss it. This is a platform for commentary. Put in the chat, we do commentary here. We do not do gossip. That is not what we do. We do commentary on what is public. And I can see how you get it mixed up, because you'll see a post public and then you'll see me sharing and I make comments on it. And it can be what somebody else could have posted that maybe could be gossip or not. Now, years ago, it could have been gossip. But nowadays, I don't, in last years, if it's gossip, it can be trending. And you're not going to see me post it because I have a reputation to protect over here. And people come here because they know they're going to get the truth. So that GoFundMe that was done, that everybody was sharing and putting everywhere, it was not done deceptively. It was done out of love and for the purpose of helping Bishop Carlton Pearson. Okay, so there's that. So when you come to this platform, you didn't know that you're having a conversation around what is happening in our world. Because I have had so many situations to where I had information that no other platform had. The story, the conversation never originates here. It just goes deeper and goes further, okay? So I don't really like to be lumped with other people who are talking heads on YouTube, Facebook, and on their own personal platforms. I don't necessarily like it, but I do have common sense and understand how I can be lumped. But I want you to hear from my mouth. This is not Shade Room. This is not Jasmine Brand. This is not Neighborhood Talk. This is not Hollywood Unlocked or any of those platforms we all love so much. This platform talks about what is in the public and just provide commentary on what is in the public. And sometimes I know way more than what's in the public, or talk to the people themselves, but I only stick with what is public, okay? So that's what we do. So let me give you the update on Bishop Carlton Pearson. Now let me give you this statement first. Oh, she's in the chat. She says, this is the one that posted. Francina Norman says, my motives are always pure. And that she loves Bishop Carlton Pearson. Great. So that's cleared up. Now, let me say this before I give you the update. All of us that love Carlton Pearson are finding it very difficult to see him not looking good. Y'all know Bishop Carlton Pearson. He's one of the gospel community's good-looking black men. And the ladies have always loved Bishop Carlton Pearson. And so to see him where he is not looking like the picture of health is difficult to process. And those of you that have the privilege of speaking with him or hearing him speak publicly, to hear the frailness in his voice is difficult. So what I am about to tell you is going to be difficult to hear for those of you that really love Bishop Carlton Pearson. Bishop Carlton Pearson told me himself that I can tell the truth. So I'm going to tell the truth. So are you guys very clear that what we're discussing is not what somebody told us? What we are discussing is not what another outlet has said, and there have been several stories. But what I'm going to tell you is what I have been knowing, but I am free now to tell you guys, okay? All right, so let me tell you the whole, I wasn't even going to do this, but let me tell you the whole story. Okay, so Bishop Carlton Pearson came and sat right here, probably about right at 2 years ago. Or was it a year? When was him and Sam here? Was it 2 years ago? It was last year. Okay, so they came here for something. And Sam was there, Bishop was here, and we were having a great conversation. I have several different spiritual gifts. And one of my gifts is an ability to see sickness that is in the body. Now, I don't know if Shamako's in the chat, but he can confirm, and those have been around me for 20, 30 years. So since I was a teenager, I've always been able to tell when something is wrong in somebody's body. And I can tell you about to the month, definitely the year, when they're going to transition and go on to the next life. And so when he came here and he was telling us a story about something, and I just felt around my feet, sickness hit me. And so I text Shamako, which is normally the only person that I tell, but sometimes I tell more than that, because I don't want, I'm sort of considerate, if it come out of my mouth, then I might be creating it. So I told him, I said, Michael, I felt a sickness that was in Carlton's body. He said, really? I said, yeah, I know. I said, we'll see if I feel it again. Then he surprised me in Miami. I think that was then. And him and Bishop was there. But I remember the conversation. The conversation was about Queen Elizabeth, and he began to give us a prophecy. Do y'all remember that? That was in the Miami studio. If you remember, say, I remember. And put it in the chat so the people who hear for the first time will know. And in that conversation, I felt it again when he was in the studio, and I mentioned it again to Shamako. So then, where was we at? Oh, no. Bishop called me, and he said that he had went to the doctor, and he had got sick, and da-da-da. I said, really, what? This is when before we saw the first video of him talking about his sickness. And I said, really? I said, oh my God. I said, but everything's going to be okay, da-da-da. And I remember telling Bishop Jordan, his son, Prophet Manasseh Jordan, I think it was in a text thread, and then another group of preachers, who I'm not going to name, I was on the phone with them. And I told them, I explained to them what I just explained to you guys. So usually when I sense these sicknesses, they're typically, on the way transitioning into their next life. And I was saying, oh God, I said, no. I said, there's a little bit more we can get out of him, although he's done a lot. And then my mind just began to flow and think about the last 5 or 10 years of his life, and even him coming on this platform. There have been a resurgence of Bishop Carlton Pearson over the last years. People are embracing him that was not embracing him. People were saying, you know what? We thought you was often crazy. We still don't believe this, that, and the other. But ultimately, we get that you were sort of the man that was out ahead of this next coming move in consciousness. And you were bouncing around sharing what you were getting in your head and downloading to you, and we just threw you away. But the last few years, there's even been a movie made. What's the name of that? Come Next Sunday or Come Sunday? Come Sunday. I think it's Come Sunday. And we begin to understand his story, what happened to him behind his shift and expansion of the message of Jesus Christ. And all of you dizzy, nasty, no good, raggedy hoes that's out there in them YouTube streets prophesying and telling lies, saying stuff that Bishop Carlton did not say. Bishop Carlton Pearson never, ever denied Jesus Christ and the name of Jesus. But you believed what these evil men and women said about what he said. You just heard that he didn't believe or receive the doctrine of hell, and then just threw him away, saying all of that's a mess, and he just... Everybody is free to believe what they want to believe, as long as they got Jesus in the center of what they're doing. Who cares? And that's really what we got to move towards if we're going to begin to unite around some of these assignments that we're supposed to be doing as followers of Jesus Christ in the earth, because we're going to need each other to perform them. But isolating and separating and dividing amongst us because of little lesser doctrinal issues is dumb as hell. It's absolutely dumb. It's antiquated and it's old. He never denied Jesus. I watched this man pray in tongues and talk about Jesus, and tears run down his cheek. This man is saved. And I've been saying this. See, a lot of you are going to be saying this now that I'm about to update you on this hell. Because one thing that the black church does is that we will rally around you and pack out your church. And that's our culture of hoodoo. It is not Christianity. It is not Jesus Christ. It is ancestral veneration. That's what funerals are, and it comes from hoodoo. For all of you to say you don't practice it. But we don't do well with how we handle each other while we yet breathing. If that ain't the dumbest. Anyway, I'm going to call you out, though. If I see you do it, I'm going to call you out. Yes, I am. I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you out. Because you split tongue. And I don't like it. I don't like that at all. Anyway, so I called him today. I could have been called him. I did talk to him about 3 weeks ago. But I didn't want to discuss the elephant in the room. He will bring it up, but I didn't ask any questions. But today I asked questions. So when he first in the video about being sick, I knew that it was cancer, but it was not public. So I never used the C word. Then my mom ended up with a cancer diagnosis, stage 2, some months ago. And so they asked about each other. So I'm passing messages between Bishop Carlton Pearson and my mom, because they met and they loved each other. And so he's sharing everything with me, but it's not public, so I couldn't come up here and share. So last week, he went to the doctor about that thing, but something else shows up over here, a mass. And this mass is so well on into stage 4, and because of where it's positioned, there can't be anything done separate from a miracle about it. So the doctors were like, we're just going to make you comfortable as you are transitioning out of this body and out of this experience into your next. And when they told me about it, it was like a ton of bricks because I had felt that thing around my feet when he was here. And I thought I was okay. But when he began to share things with me on the phone, and it just, and I recorded them so I can have them because it was sort of prophetic to me. And I know many of you have lost many people. I've lost people, but I can't say I've been touched by death deeply except twice. And that was my friend Shay that died about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. And of course, my granddad when I was young. I had my Aunt Catherine. That was an impact too, so that's really 3 times. And other people who have died, a host of aunts and Aunt Cleo, Aunt Winnie, all those people, but that's when you're young. But Shay, because I was older, and Aunt Cappy, because I was older, it changed me. And now I understand loss when it comes to death. And I understand it personally and how it feels. And I understand now, Larry, no matter, because I'm analytical, no matter what your analytical Aquarius mind understands, the feeling of it is still going to hit. Normally, if I understand it here, then my emotions are almost zero, almost non-existent. But what I notice now is that's not the case. Although I fully understand it and know it, I still feel the impact of it. And when I was on the phone with him, I just felt the reality that he's transitioning out of this experience and on into his next. And it's just unfortunate. But when I look at his life, he has done it all. And he has completed it fully and completely. So what I want us to do, number one, is hit like, I do know this is our darn business, right? And y'all got me in this chair and this here chair down here. There are 2,326 of you watching between YouTube and Facebook. Everybody right now, you can hit like, share. I want us, and we've done it before, I just want us to show love. And I want us to, last time we broke his Cash App, we may end up doing it this time. But I want you, it probably ain't no more than 5 words you got space in that memo line and Cash App. But I want you to say something that could just give him comfort, because they're keeping him comfortable. And they say it can be anywhere from now to far out to 6 weeks, and from 6 weeks to even 6 months. It just depends on how the body is. But what I want, and I'm so glad I get an opportunity, we get an opportunity to be a part of knowing that someone is transitioning, except that God give us a miracle. And we get to celebrate them and talk with them, and they empty out, because that was our conversation today. He said, yeah, come here and let's talk. We can do an interview and you can ask me anything, to where we get to just make sure we got everything this reformer was supposed to give us, because you and we're the next generation of reformers. We're not doing it the way that we used to do it. We know the glory of the old house and the former house and the old school thing, but we're in a new space of information, knowledge, and revelation. So we're moving differently. You and I are left here to reform the church, to watch the reform of the entire world, because the whole world, like Prophetess Beyonce said, is going to go into Renaissance. But there are key parts of Renaissance, that's the breakdown. And that's what we're experiencing now. but reformation is even in the breakdown. So that's you and I. So we get to exhaust Bishop Carlton Pearson's head of knowledge, his heart of passion, while he is still here. And the biggest opportunity we get today, we get to show him that we love him. This is a great opportunity. Now, I don't know what you have experienced before, but for me, being this side of transition, it's a beautiful thing because he was able to say things to me that I can hold for the rest of my life. I will say to Julian and to all of those around there, make sure you record his voice, get it in AI, because of AI and getting his voice into AI and even downloading his thoughts, he can still speak to us 6 years, 6 scores from now. He'll be able to still speak to us and be that sound in our ear. What I want you guys to do, and I'm not going to tell you what, but whatever come to your mind, put the his Cash App up here. He only has access to this and his son. Whatever it is, I want you just to start doing it. Whatever. But I want you to do it in love because money is currency, ultimately an energy. And you can connect your love, your honor, and respect to $100, to $50, to $20, to $1,000. And get to show this man, thank you, or that I love you. And that's what I want you to do. And put in that memo, you can just put a line of hearts. You can put, I love you, praying for you. Because what the doctor said they're going to do is make sure that he's comfortable. So we want to add to that comfort love, care, and kind concern. And we want to do it with money. You cannot show honor separate from money. You can't. Well, I can go and make the bed, I cook him a meal. Yes, you can. That's honorable. But money is tied to your person. That's why I can look at money and I can tell a lot about you because who you are shows up in your money. Giving your money is giving a piece of who you are. It is giving what you value. That's why we worship God with money, because money is what we hold valuable. And when we give it to God by way of a 501c3 compliant charity, we are worshiping. So I want you to send honor. What are we doing? We're sending honor. Put in the chat, I am sending honor. If you are going to send Bishop Carlton something, I want you to put in chat, I am sending honor. And I'm sending honor right now. However you want to do it. And about 200 or 300 people dropped off because it's time to donate. Those are the people that dropped off and did not donate. These are the people that's going to be coming back later asking for money. I've been doing this a long time. I know how this works. The poor, you always have the poor with you. But giving, and this is not a seed. This is a donation of honor. Because when you plant a seed, you want what this person got going on to grow in you. Maybe somebody is called to be a reformer in their organization. Now, for you, what you're sending him may be a seed because you're seeding into that reformation anointing that he did in this world and in the black church. But for most of us, this is just a donation of honor. And whenever you give, it shall be given right back to you. I'm saying in the chat, I'm sending honor. Thank you. I'm sending honor. Thank you. I'm sending honor. $New Dimensions number 2. New Dimensions number 2. I'm sending in the chat. Don't y'all be lying. You remember what happened to Ananias and Sapphira? Don't y'all be lying. He dropped dead. I really am going to live differently. Whenever transition gets close like this and people are transitioning out of this experience and going into their next, it makes me think about living on purpose. In fact, my friend Shay's death, I purposely began to travel after that. Because I said, here in my city, I can go anywhere in the world. Why don't I go places? It was a little bit after that, I planned some trips. First of the year, I went to Aruba, went to Sweden, planned my trip for Africa, June 2024. And just the other day, I just had a thought and planned the trip to Dubai. So I'm going there in a couple of weeks. Live on purpose, you guys, and live with the purpose of impacting the lives of others. Because you want to impact the lives of others. I hear everybody saying, does he have a Zelle? I just asked for the Cash App. I know he has a Zelle. But I'm just going to put the Cash App. If you really want to get that honor to him, get your phone, open up a Cash App. Make sure you put your phone number and your email and turn on your authentication inside Cash App. Because if you don't do these 3 things, you can get hacked in Cash App. But they've really stepped it up to where many people aren't getting hacked there no more. Somebody said Dubai is flooded. Is it? Let me know. Because I changed that ticket to Japan or to Rome. Oh, flooded with a lot of people. Okay. All right. All right. So, last statement, final statement. Bishop Carlton Pearson developed another mass, and as a result, he is the doctors. They say that it's terminal, and so that's keeping him comfortable. And it's a possibility, he mentioned it today, that I'm going to fly there and we get a great exchange and conversation, let him just empty out, and it'll be here online in perpetuity. We have so many great teachings on Larry Live platform. From Bishop Pearson has sat here and poured his heart and answered every single question. And I want to do that again. He brought it up. I wasn't even going to do that. But now that he put it in me, I want to do it again. So I'm going to have to find some time to fly there in between me flying everywhere else I got to fly to. I got to be in LA next week. Then, so much going on. Let me see. Oh, yes, I'm going to Australia. That's on my list. I'm going on a safari in Australia. That is on my list. Absolutely. I just got to make time for it now. It's the blessing of the Lord. It's not even a money thing. It is a find the time and who gonna go and who ain't gonna go. I don't know why y'all putting certain comments in the comment section. Bishop is with his family. Bishop is with his family. Okay. Hold on. All right. Someone said, how much are we sending? That must be a LR, a patron. They said, I came in late, how much we sending? Whatever's upon your heart, and then say something in the memo that's very kind, very nice. Very kind, very nice. Someone said, did I go to church today? Yeah, I go to church every Sunday. What part of Africa I'm going? Ghana. You're welcome. I'm glad you see it as that, because that's what it is. Thank you, Dr. Reid, for giving us the opportunity to show Bishop how much he has impacted our life. Every drop of that. I'm so honored. What is this? Okay, I got you. I'm just sending mercy to us. Yeah. Let me say this about transition. And I know we say death, dead, dying, but let me make this statement, and you can say Larry Reid was the first person I ever heard say this, and maybe I'm not. There is no such thing as death and dead. There just isn't. And I don't know how we got that mixed up in the church, but we have. So Bishop is transitioning, except the Lord give us a miracle. He is not dying. He's not going to ever be dead. You can say die out of this experience into the next. I guess you can say that. But there's no such thing. Our soul, we are a piece of all that is, which is God. God doesn't die, and neither do we. We just transition from one experience to the next. All right? It's just not true. This is why veneration, like funerals, wearing T-shirts with our past loved ones' faces on it, like we do at the family reunions, have the big blankets with their face on it, still cooking their recipes and still saying their sayings. All of that is ancestral veneration. Now, there's some Christian people that try to make y'all think that those of us that embrace our African culture alongside of our Christianity, that we worship the dead. That is a lie. It's not true. We just do not. The Catholic Church worships the dead. I'm just playing. No, they don't. It's veneration. The Catholic Church does this, because they grabbed and took and made Christianity out of African spirituality. So they learned the importance of honoring those that have went along the path that you're walking, those that went before you, those that paved the way. You should always do that. That's why we have Martin Luther King's Day that y'all love to have off. That's the whole reason why we do Easter or Easter, Passover. We're celebrating transition, those that have went over. It's veneration. So all of you say that you don't practice hoodoo, don't go to now other funeral, because you is. Oh my God. Okay. I'm not responsible for your church not teaching you right. I'm responsible for teaching you right when you come here. Other than that, that's not my business. That's not my business. I don't have anything to do with that. That's you and your dumb pastor. I suggest to you to find you another, and please do not get him the Taruma, because then that stupid gonna settle itself in your head. Oh Lord, because you only can go where you sow. Please don't give that man, that woman your Taruma, because they is idiots. So, oh my God. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I made it plain. Show your love to Bishop Pearson. Hold on. I keep missing stuff. Okay. A few don't have Cash App and they want to give through Pay. I understand that, but the only thing they gave me was the Cash App. And I didn't get a release to give the Zelle. But if you really want to give that honor, it's so easy to open up, download the app, make sure you verify Cash App, connect your account to it, and send it over. It's so easy. So if you really want to do it, this would be the one time to get you a Cash App. Oh, yeah, that's right. Those of you outside the U.S. can't do. You got a friend in the U.S., Cash App, PayPal them. You know what? I know you are. You in Switzerland. Yes, you're a patron. I know who you are. We always receive your donation through PayPal, I think. Yeah. Can they send it to you and then they we got too much work. I can't do that. Either you send it to his Cash App or not. You start sending through us, then we have to add a whole nother job for the week. Somebody says Zelle gives his business out. Let me tell y'all something. People make fake accounts. You can't really trust the research on your end. I mean, Julian has my number. If he wanted me to have the Zelle, he would give it to me. So I don't have it. So do Cash App, and then maybe follow Bishop Carlton Pearson. Maybe now that I've put this out, and I've done it with permission, that they may come live and talk and give you other ways to donate. So follow Carlton Pearson with the blue check on Facebook. And I think he's also on YouTube, okay? All right. See y'all later. Wally put love this away. I say, take care of yourself. Don't let nobody get on your nerves now, because they out there in the streets trying. Do not let them do that. See you later. What is that?